Celebrities are almost always altered in videos and pictures in some way, shape, or form. But the industry is finally starting to change.
In order for change to happen, people with a lot of influence have to take a stand and use their power for good.
Today we're counting on the top 10 celebrities that are against Photoshop. Here for you on IO.
Yes.
For you. What's up? I'm Charlotte.
What's up guys, I'm Mackenzie. So in this day and age, Photoshop is absolutely everywhere and feels impossible to avoid with apps like Facetune and Makeup Plus changing how the everyday Instagram post looks.
And I'm sure, as we all know by now, practically every picture and video that we see of a celebrity has been altered in some way to make them look as good as possible. Oh yeah.
But some brave and confident celebs are standing up to this by declaring that they are done with Photoshop and even going so far as to get mad at the magazines that are photoshopping them without their consent.
So let's get into this video, shall we? Coming in hot at number 10, we got Troian Bellisario. When her Pretty Little Liars co-star Ashley Benson criticized GQ magazine for heavily photoshopping their spread, Troian decided to put up unedited images from the shoot to show what her real body looks like. She also posted this caption along with them. I'm not mad at how these pictures turned out. The girls and I had an absolute blast. More fun than we've had on a photo shoot in a while, and I think you can see that in our eyes and smiles. But it's the same everywhere. It's the same way on the posters of our show and even in women's magazines. This industry seems to invest more in perfection than in flaw. So Troian didn't outright criticize Photoshop, but she was candid about it. It would be nice if all stars were as honest about this, about the photo editing going on, but...
Next up at number 9, we have Kate Winslet. So Kate has spoken up multiple times regarding this subject as she really does not like to be photoshopped. Back in 2011, she told The Telegraph that photoshopping goes against her morals, saying, "The way that my parents brought me up and what I consider to be natural beauty, I will never give in." This was prompted by a 2003 cover of GQ where she was disappointed to see that the cover of hers was actually digitally altered. She compared it to a Polaroid and said that they'd reduced her legs by about a third. And she said she's happy and proud of the way she looks and does not see the need for it to be changed. Continuing on the trend, she is now fully embracing aging by ensuring that the brands that she works with are not editing her wrinkles in photos. She spoke with E! News about her new Lancome ad, saying that her skin in the photo is the real deal and not photoshopped at all. Saying that she has a no Photoshop clause with L'Oreal, Lancome's parent company, and she feels she has responsibility put on her to be natural for the younger generation. I just love how poised and thoughtful she is about all this stuff, you know?
Coming in at number 8, we have Lorde. We all remember when Lorde posted an unedited photo of her acne to Twitter, and as someone who used to struggle with acne, I can't even tell you how refreshing it is for someone as well known as Lorde to say that it's okay to have acne. She shared this side by side to Twitter. Both were taken during the same performance at Lollapalooza Festival. She said, "I find this curious. 2 photos from today, one edited so my skin is perfect and one real. Remember, flaws are okay." Lorde is known for sharing all too real photos of herself to social media, like this time when she posted a photo of herself sporting zit cream like the bad bitch she is.
Next up at number 7, we have Lady Gaga. So Gaga is another star who is saying no to Photoshop, and in this one she was actually low-key a savage. Back in 2013, she actually called out Glamour magazine for photoshopping her cover photo while accepting the award at Glamour's 2013 Woman of the Year award. She said, quote, "I felt my skin looked too perfect. I felt my hair looked too soft. I don't look like this when I wake up in the morning. I don't even look like this," referring to her wild wig and makeup. She continued asking people to fight back against the forces that make them feel like they're not beautiful, as well as a challenge to the media saying, "It's fair to write about the change in your magazines, but what I want to see is the change on your covers. When the covers change, that's when culture changes." So shout out to Gaga for being the savage that we all needed and calling out Photoshop directly in front of the people that did it. Still just insane to me.
At number 6, Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley has been photoshopped many times throughout her career, and her body has been altered in various ways. Like in this photo for the King Arthur poster. Her breasts were enlarged, probably to draw more men to the movie, because apparently men love large breasts. Keira talked about her frustrations in an interview with The Times and said, "I've had my body manipulated so many different times for so many different reasons, whether it's paparazzi photographers or for film posters. I think women's bodies are a battleground and photography is partly to blame. Our society is so photographic now, it becomes more difficult to see all of those different varieties and shapes." So nowadays when Keira does photo shoots, she makes it a condition that she doesn't want to be photoshopped. Like when she did a shoot with Patrick DeMarchelier for Interview magazine, she agreed to do it topless as long as she wasn't retouched.
Now halfway through at number 5, we have Beyonce. So back in 2013, Beyonce released a swimwear collection with H&M, which is honestly news to me, by the way. I didn't even hear of this, did you? But anyways, for the collections, she obviously partook in some photo shoots to promote it. But when she found out that H&M wanted to retouch her images to make her slimmer, she was pissed and demanded that they only released unaltered photographs of her. A source close to Beyonce told The Sun that her people refused to give the pictures the green light, so H&M was forced to use the originals. After this whole scandal, H&M did comment back saying that there had indeed been discussions regarding Beyonce's photos for the brand, but confirmed that the images ultimately published had not been retouched and that both parties were happy with the results.
I I just have a little thing to say.
Am I getting?
So as you probably know from some of my previous videos, I feel that little like interjection in the media that Beyonce made might have just been to save face, because I think we all know by now that Beyonce is very calculated about the photos that she releases to the media.
Definitely.
So just because the photos were photoshopped, that doesn't mean she's not very careful about how people perceive her, and she has a team of people that makes sure that certain photos aren't released to the media. And of course, we know by now that she's edited in videos, and those photos of her unretouched in the L'Oreal campaign did leak. So
like in that last video you did, that's what it was on, right?
Exactly. So just like keep that in mind. She says she's against it, but she's also very careful about what Beyonce people see. Coming into the number 4 slot, we have Lily Reinhart. This Riverdale star is an open critic of Photoshop and unrealistic beauty standards the media subjects women to. Back in March of 2018, Lily accused Cosmopolitan Philippines of editing photos of her and her co-star Camila Mendez. She wrote in her stories, "Camila and I worked incredibly hard to feel confident in the bodies we have. It's an everyday battle sometimes, and to see our bodies become so distorted in an editing process is a perfect example of the obstacles we have yet to overcome." She continued, "We want readers to know that those bodies are not ours. They have been distorted from their natural beauty. I'm not interested in having a slimmer waist. I'm more than satisfied with the one that I already have." Yes, queen!
Next at number 3 is Zendaya. So back when Zendaya was just 19 years old, she used her massive social media presence to call out a brand that photoshopped her. She posted a side-by-side image of the original and then the digitally altered version on her Instagram with the caption, "Had a new shoot come out today and was shocked when I found out my 19-year-old hips and torso quite manipulated. These are the things that can make women self-conscious, that create the unrealistic ideals of beauty that we have. Anyone who knows who I am knows I stand for honesty and pure self-love. So I took it upon myself to release the real pic, right side, and I love it." So in response to the explosive post calling out this brand, the editor-in-chief Amy McCabe said that she was pulling the magazine to have the images restored to their original, natural state. She continued saying that the final images were sent to them through an independent editing company, but after hearing what Zendaya had to say, they determined that the images were too heavily photoshopped and they were not in line with their values. Then after this, Zendaya changed her caption, adding, "Thank you at Modelesque magazine for pulling down the images and fixing this retouch issue. And this is why we have no choice but to stand Zendaya." Like, it just freaking love her. Like, who even does that? Like, that's crazy. She's just amazing, making us all confident queens out here.
At number 2, Lupita Nyongo. I think if we all looked like Lupita, we would be against Photoshop. This woman is a goddess. But when Grazia UK edited out her kinky, coily hair and replaced it with a Eurocentric look for their cover, she was very vocal about her disappointment. She said on Instagram, "Being featured on the cover of a magazine fulfills me, as it is an opportunity to show other dark, kinky-haired people, and particularly our children, that they are beautiful just the way they are. I am disappointed that Grazia UK invited me on their cover and then edited out and smoothed my hair to fit their notion of what beautiful hair looks like." Lupita's call out of the magazine sparked a hashtag, "Do not touch our hair." The magazine eventually responded and said the decision to amend the photograph was taken for layout purposes.
And finally, taking the number 1 spot, we have Brad Pitt. So this one proves that it's not only women who are concerned with being photoshopped. Brad Pitt broke all the rules when he decided to choose an unretouched photo for the cover of W magazine, which happened to be a real close-up image. He went even farther to request to work with Chuck Close, who is well known for taking portrait photos that expose flaws and intricate features. The photog commented after the fact saying, "You cannot be the fair-haired young boy forever. Maybe a photograph of him with his crow's feet and furrowed brow is good for him." And we just love that he's embracing his older image. But like, honestly, it's not hard when you're Brad Pitt. Like, he's definitely Asian like fine wine if you ask me.
Alright, let's wrap up this video with some comments. Crimson Carson said Charlotte should do a Russian accent impression.
Can you?
Yes. Yes, I can. What do you think you want to do this whole comments? Can you do this?
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
I cannot.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Crazy Bacon Source said, Charlotte never uses Photoshop.
That is not true. I use the Photoshop to sharpen my eyes and my images, and I add the filter to my image. I don't smooth my skin out or alter my body. You know this, right? Last time we take photos together and I say I look pregnant and she says, "Oh, we'll just use a Facetune." I say, "No."
Yeah, she stopped me.
And Sammy DeBon said, "I watched the video before I even got the notification." Well, don't you just deserve a gold star?
That's the energy we need in 2020.
Yes.
Right here.
Before the notification energy. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Do you want to see more collabs from me and Mackenzie? We would love to bring it for you.
This was really fun. We would love to. Yeah.
Alright, that's it for us. Leave a like.
Yeah,
subscribe.
see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you want to see more, of course.
Bye.
Bye.